Hello, Corrie Thorne, the spiritual healer, coming in to do the weekly forecast energy reading, the channeled message for the weekend, for the Easter weekend, for April the 2nd, all the way through until probably Tuesday, Wednesday. I want to say there's such big energy on the weekend that I think it's more to do with the weekend. So I did do a channeled message earlier today. It's a very out there kind of message. It is something that was channeling through to do live or to record from my seat over here as I was recording podcasts. And then if you're not on my other channel, I have two channels now. So I have a podcast channel. It is called She Is Podcast. And it is where I post all of my recent podcasts. I am going to add the link in here somehow. But it is it is my other YouTube channel as well. And that one has all of my podcasts that are me. So I'm just getting ready to download a new one in there as well. We are using my deck of Oracle cards. These are not out yet. They're still in beta testing. These are the Everyday Goddess. These are our attitude cards. Oh, so the energy for this week and what's coming through is that you may not be feeling like yourself. You may be feeling like, you're a little lost in yourself. You're lost in a lot of energy. You're unsure of how to feel. There's a lot of change, a lot of shift. There's been a lot of, today is the day of Good Friday. This is the day of, if you're in Christianity, this is what is believed to be the day of crucifixion. And it's the day of the crucifixion of Jesus. And for anyone who knows my work and knows me, I channel Jesus. So this has been a very hard day in energy for me. There's been a lot of, and I have a lot of energy that comes through of something different. But where, I'm being asked to look at crucifixion and way of look at what ego did. Look what ego did. Look where ego takes us. Look what ego has us do. Look what our fear stories, our desires to have these wants met, like all of that energy that takes us so far away from truth. And not about, us suffering or us being sinners and having to hand our sins over. It's not that. It is look what, because if you were to think about sin, you'd think of who put him on the cross, right? And so there's that whole sense of what is truly, what do we continually keep allowing ourselves to get caught up in that causes us to make enemies with our neighbors, with ourselves, or with energy, like what the effects of how powerful that little monster that's inside of everyone can be when fear starts to play out. But the energy we're truly in and what we really have coming forward for us is the sense of rebirth. So, not feeling like ourselves is that we're shedding that old stories, we're shedding the old skin, we're shedding that ego story, those fear stories. Like we're starting to break free of that energy and to be able to come into this new. So, the card that comes up with this, and I did this one on my live today, this came as our ending card for us. And it was right at the end, it was the future card. And it's the beginning card for us here in the forecast energy. So for me, the way that my forecast energy comes is the forecast into the future of what's to come in the next few days. What's to come in the next few days that is to help the future us in the next few months. And so this rebirth card is all about after the rebirth in that pause moment, and there's 8 hearts in that infinity. And so when things die, it's like our past is always somewhat alive. But we're not here to keep reactivating, reliving the past. We're here right now to know that we have repeated this cycle, this crucifixion cycle, and crucifying people and that kind of crucifying ourselves, selling ourselves short, like anything, however you want to put it. It's like we've been doing this time after time. It's like we can't keep this wheel spinning on being cruel and mean to each other and to have such a divide in the fact that if we just seem a little different, if we seem to not have the same view, like we have to put an end. And so we're shedding some skin on this. I see a lot of snake energy today. I have a lot of that snake energy and that shedding of the skin. But with the snake energy, I also have the healing symbol. I have the symbolic symbol of the healers who walked on earth before us, so Jesus. We have the angelic energy of Raphael, which also ties into the Jesus energy. I have this great, powerful sense of some of the greatest healers who ever walked before us. I've been channeling for 2 days this guru who I didn't even know much about. I mean, I knew of him, but Ras is his name. Ras. I can't remember what his last name is now, but Ras. He's a guru, and I've been channeling him for I want to say a full week now. and I didn't know he was even passed on. But he's been coming through to me and telling me some powerful messages about love. And so through that energy, he's telling me about the essence of stepping in to own this role that I am owning. And it's a very uncomfortable role for me to be able to even use the titles names to see myself as a guru. But apparently I am. But and that's new to me. And so this forecast energy is that you're going to find yourself stepping into new roles, finding yourself not being identified, not having to claim a title, but to know that spirit of eternity is that we have eternity as we have life as eternity spirit, like to be internally here as spirit, to live on forever. Like, but our human, who we are as a human, has this lifetime. You have today, you have this sense of self to be able to step into your light, to let yourself be, and whatever your light means. It's not all about being a celebrity. It's about knowing that we are here to do the right things for the right reasons, to be of call, to be of service, to provide that service, to be present with that service, to know the power of Mother Earth. And Mother Earth, don't try to overpower of us. She provides for us. She gives us safety. She gives us protection. She feeds us. She does all the things that is needed for us. And so that sense of the Mother Earth energy is very, very big. And I just remembered what I just seen. So yesterday, my daughter did a video. My birthday was yesterday. I turned 50 years old yesterday. And so she did a video for me. And in the video, she posted a picture of myself, all four generations. So my mother, myself, her, and my granddaughter, all at the Marys, all at the um, the Sisters of Mary's. It's a walk that I walk constantly. It's a an area where you go for contemplation. It's a place where you just can go and you can just feel the essence of the divine. Like it's so powerful there, and it's in a farm field type of thing. It's the most amazing experience ever. But there, when I went there, it was like, and I walked it so many times last year, and I walked it with so many people, and I walked it alone, and it truly gave me everything that I needed to write the book The Way, and resting in the way, and just resting in the way, just find your way to this home, and resting in the way, what it was. And I don't know exactly how the whole title of the book will come out, but it was that creating that heaven on earth. It's about creating heaven on earth. And I give a lot of talks about heaven on earth and what heaven on earth means, and that sacred space that we live in, that sacred space of where we become present with self and the importance of that. But my daughter posted a picture in a video she had done. I don't think she even noticed, but it was a picture of four of us, but it had all three crosses in it. And the all three crosses on the top, we were standing up by all three crosses in the picture. And she had that in my video of my birthday yesterday, of all these different things about me, celebrating me. And in there was this picture. And soon as I seen it, I went, oh, and something filled my heart, and it's all four generations. And so generational, ancestral, like we've all been carrying these stories of pain and hurt and suffering, misery and suffering for many, many generations. And I truly believe with all of my heart that where we are today, even though we're in this pandemic, even though we're in this virus, that we're truly here to set ourselves free, to untie, to cut the chains, to surrender it over, to place that crown of thorns up on the head of Jesus. So up on up on the up on the shelf, whatever it is for you, to take it out of your hands, to take out that misery and suffering away from your hands. Like stop holding on to so tight to the past stories, to the old hurt energies, and to be able to sit in this new energy, this new of wholeness. We are coming full circle. We are we're walking into this, we're coming into this, and that we have this lifetime to we have only this life as who we are today, to be the best version of ourselves, to set ourselves free. And if we can treat ourselves as if we are newbies, as if we are new to this world, new to our lives, and we can be gentler with ourselves and gentler with most people that are in our lives, that we're all trying to learn and we're all trying to do the best that we can. That's the way we're going to get there. What's holding us back is the fact that even though we may appear dark, or even we may appear like we're not knowing what we're doing, is that Shema is here to tell us that love in the dark, that that sense of she does know who she is. she's true to her, is that we're so easily led by believing shadows and egos to be truth. Shadows and egos of people, that that's who they truly are, that we, that's, you know, how we build reputations, how we know people to be, is that we really don't know people. So in the channel message I spoke of, you know, people want me to hate people that are out there that are in public view or whatever, and I said I can't hate somebody and hold that hate, become this, be this light worker that I am and hold such hate, and or to carry such hate stories or to contribute or pass on such hate stories. Number one, I don't know those people personally. So unless I personally have had a personal one-on-one handshake, spent time, spent years with them, I don't know them. And the rest is things that are built up. So that whole truth is that love in the dark is that we're actually seeing our, you know, is that we're not, that she's showing us that she is her truth. And the card gives the illusion of darkness, but it's not dark. She's actually very aware. She's very present. She is a light. She's radiating through that picture. And so even no matter what you have done in the past, no matter where you have been, no matter what journey you have walked, it don't mean there's that you're dark or that there's something wrong with you or you should keep punishing yourself. You don't have to keep putting yourself up on the cross and crucifying yourself for past mistakes. It is time to set yourself free from there. It is time to be able to see the love and light that's within you, that we all have it within. And once we can find it in us, we're able to show it more into the world and be able to give it to more, and to be able to show that dignity, love, and respect for other people. And it's that thought of the stories that we create of how dark people are and how cruel people are and how bad the world is. And there's not a truth. There's still a whole lot of love and light in the world. We just have to maybe look a little bit further, but we have to be it ourselves and live within ourselves. And those shadows, you can convince anybody, you know, you can convince people that that's trees, but it's not really trees, it's shadows. It is the shadows of trees. And the one bird looks like it's actually sitting on the tree, but it's not. It's not a tree, right? So it's you can convince anybody of what anyone is, and you can create a narrative and a story and convince people of anything who wants to see the dark side or wants to create a story of a not true truth, right? And that's happening everywhere. But this is not where we are. We are shedding the skin on that story. This is where we have been. Remember, we're working our way back a little bit for a moment there to really recognize that we still have, even if you, no matter where you've been, no matter what you did, there's an opportunity to turn it around, to bring it back, to come back home. There's so much to be found in finding that neutral ground. And see, here's our beautiful unassuming. She's 13, which is one of my favorite numbers. It's actually one of my numbers in Chinese astrology. And she's a Mara. And a Mara is like she's walking into her light, or is she standing, pausing? Is she going into her light, or is she just tricking or fooling? So it's like there's a lot of that energy. And is she pregnant? There's a lot of question here. Is she pregnant? Is she hiding something by the light? Is she trying to disguise something by the light? Is she an imposter to the light? Or is she truth? And so we find ourselves really, really questioning right now the motives behind the ability to use the word God, to use the word Jesus, to use the holy realm as a motive to manipulate and to create false illusions, to be an imposter to a light. And there's a lot of imposter light still out there. And to not be able to distinguish difference, because just like Jezebel was absolutely beautiful, and there's this whole story around, you know, being able to look beautiful, look innocent, be all of that. But it doesn't mean that it is, but it doesn't mean they're all bad. It means there's that sense of a loss of sense of how fear has been dictating, controlling lives, that we've lost the sense of being able to trust. And so trust is a big thing that's coming up, and learning to be able to trust again, to be able to know who and where we can trust, and to be able to know that we should be allowed to question. We shouldn't be punished for questioning, and you shouldn't be punished for question. I love when people question. I love when people ask me questions. I don't take that to be offensive. I take that to be an opportunity. And there's many opportunities. And I always say, I could be wrong. And I'm not saying that I'm always right or that I know I'm always right. I'm just giving you the energy reading that I get. I give you what I am told through this, but I also have my own free will, and I also have my own ability to think. I have my own mind. So I don't become a follower to fear very easily. Not saying I don't get triggered by fear every now and then. It happens, but there's so much to be said about when we set ourselves free, and we can't use these special days and times to be emotive, to manipulate people to become followers, so that we only show up in love and light on these days, and then next week you go back to calling everybody down and calling everybody out, and it's like No, that don't work that way. You can't go back to crucifying people next week after you stepped into this light. And that's, and you see it so often. And and to validate this, see just to validate this, we have the everyday miracle. She is. This is where my podcast came from. My other podcast is that she is the everyday miracle, and that it was okay for me to be just Corrie. And so the podcast is all about Corrie and about my journey and about how there's things still hurt me and I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still a human. On top of being a channel and a mystic and a prophetess and a guru and everything else that I am, I'm this, and it all still works together. And so this is the everyday miracle, and she's telling you all about the action. Love is not a noun. Love is a verb. It's an action. There, it takes action. It takes change. It takes being the change. It takes making the change in you. It takes being able to move forward and beyond, and to just know. Um, And it really truly takes being able to move beyond anything that holds us back. And so 44 is our beautiful divine number, the angelic number, and knowing that we are being held in such beautiful energy right now, even though things may not appear that way, but there's that I want to say I'm walking in grace and that divine energy of today I'm walking in grace, truly understanding the power of the worth and the value of me allowing myself to go through the healing. And I hope that's where you go to. If you notice, she doesn't have hands. She has these orbs of this golden light. And there's parts of her that she is keeping sacred, but there's parts of her that she knows that is, in the hands of God. So her hands are in the hands of God. It's all in the hands, whatever God means to you, God consciousness, source, creator, but it's in the hands of God. And that sense of hands of God is also in your hands and in you, that you have everything that you need inside of you to be the change that you want to see in the world. We also have the energy of, I want to say, like Saint Anne, that grandmother energy, that crone energy. And this is a crone card, and truly stepping up to guide us, to um, guide us into a sense of allowing ourselves to treat ourselves with such love and respect, to hand over that suffering, to know that we can walk the road, we can walk the paths that are hardest to get through. We can take the hard road to do everything, or we can walk a more beautiful path, the most beautiful journey. And it may not be easy, but we can hold true to that light and love. And to know that everything that you need, everything that'll happen, everything that supplies nutrients and love to us starts from the inside. The reason why, with all of her long hair and what it represents, is I spent 30 years in the hairdressing industry. And I used to find it very funny how people used to, talk about their hair as if it was this live thing, but it's a part of you. It's the crown, it's what adorns you. But people used to think that if you cut off the bottom of the hair, that's what makes the hair grow. You believe it's what's on the end that makes it, that the ends when you cut it off, so it makes it grow. But it's not, it's what's inside. And the way that you get your hair the most healthiest for it to be was to make sure that you feed yourself food that is made of light and love, to make sure you have all the nutrients that you need. So for us, it is very important for us to be connected to earth. So because your hair gets all its nutrients, all of its good things that it needs through through the inside. It is from the inside out. It gets everything that it needs from the inside. And the out, we take care of it, but it's us trying to push our hair to this extreme to get what we want, to get a desire, to get, we want white hair, we want blonde hair, but you have dark hair. And you push out everything in the hair, you destroy the hair to get to that. And even when you think that you're putting a waxy conditioner on, you're going to coat it and you're going to make it look like it's still healthy. Oh, it's so healthy. No, it's not. You just blew the shit out of it and you just blew the hair apart to get what you want, to get that so-called desired outcome. And then you have to live with those results. You have to live with what damage you caused to your hair, and you have to settle for having to use outside stuff to make it feel healthy, but it's never fully healthy. Healthy comes from the inside out, and it comes at the purest form of leaving hair as it is. Speaking of, I've toned my hair with the wrong color. I didn't look at, or I couldn't see the bottle, didn't have reading glasses on, and yeah, I have to redo that today. And so that energy that's coming up for us is to really truly pay attention? Do you, if you do the things from the inside out, instead of wanting the whole material world to provide that peace for us, to bring miracles towards us or to bring us our happiness and joy, it's never coming from the outside. It is what you do in here. It is what you action steps you make to be the change inside of you first that brings forth the magic and the miracles in your life. Because first you have to see the magic within. You have to see the love within. You have to feel love is this sense of being able to return to integrity, dignity, respect. There's so much that's contained in there. And so today and every day, know that the angels are walking with us. We have a divine, beautiful love and light that is with us today, that is walking with us and is providing over this next few days. And even though we have this rise again energy, and so she really is truly the card of rise again. And she, Mother Mary, Mother Mary is the mother of Jesus, and she is the one of transformation. And she is the one that was there to be, but she's not the one who unwrapped Jesus. And that would be Mary Magdalene. And we all have that Mary Magdalene, and this card Amara represents Mary Magdalene. She represents the truth of truly, and this represents Lilith. And Lilith and Mary Magdalene are all the same. It's all the same kind of story. It's that whole being defined by somebody else and somebody else building a reputation that they were such a not good person. And who gets to decide that? And Mother Mary is that energy, just like Isis energy, the same thing, that is here to tell us that somebody else does not get to define if you are worthy of light and love, or if that you are enough. That energy, that light is truly awake, is awakening us when we start to believe in ourselves, when we start to trust. So what we are shedding, what we are letting go of, is to be able to prepare ourselves for what we call the new world, which is not the same as the motive of a world of a place to create this new world. It's the new world that is waiting to be in alignment. It is waiting for us to do the work on us, to be able to come back together, to show dignity to humanity. And I'm sorry, as long as you got conditions on anybody, you don't know unconditional love. And you can't have conditions on anybody to be the person that you want them to be, to place expectations on them, to create the world or to make changes for you, to make you comfortable. It all has to be in alignment. So unconditional love is to have no conditions, no expectations on anything else, but to know that in order to be in alignment with you means that you are the one who got to put the work in. You're the one got to look in the mirror. You're the one has to face your truth. You're the one who has to find that real truth. And it takes really truly seeing that we have the whole world in our hands today and every day. We have the whole world. We have the opportunities. We have the moments. We have it right here, right now, for us to be able to be the change that we want to see in the world. And it's going to take us being able to do those action steps within to be the everyday miracle. And I hope this resonates with you and for you to have a beautiful, beautiful Easter weekend and to just see, feel, sense love and joy through taking a pause, taking a breather, taking a break, take some big, deep breath, and to just be able to sit in gratitude and appreciation for the things we do have, those that we have around us. And the sun will shine again. The sun will rise. The sun shall set. The sun will rise. No matter what, the sun is there. No matter how dark it gets, the light is still there. And we too will rise again. Much love. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye bye.